What is up, guys? It is James from 𝐄𝐗𝐂𝐋𝐔𝐒𝐈𝐕𝐄. Welcome back to the channel, and we've got some really exciting news today about Michael Edwards that we're going to dive into. It was an initial story broken by Fabrizio Romano, who everyone knows as the king of football journalism, super reliable, but it has since been picked up and expanded on by some very reliable journalists very close to Liverpool that we're going to take a deep dive into in this video. But before we do, if you can do us a massive favor, make sure you give this video a like and subscribe if you're not subscribed already. It does hugely help us out, and you're only keeping yourselves up to date with everything going on within Liverpool Football Club, so it only makes sense. Right, without further ado, let's dive into what's been said. We'll start with the story that broke from Fabrizio Romano this morning, and he said, Liverpool owners want to give one last try to bring Michael Edwards back. FSG want Edwards to take over football and put a new structure in place, including new sporting director. So first of all, it's important to note that Michael Edwards is not coming back as the sporting director, but let's continue. It's important to clarify that Edwards has currently shown no sign of saying yes, but FSG will try again. Liverpool owners want new structure to be decided as soon as possible. It won't take long to see new faces. Final attempt for Michael Edwards, ready with an answer expected soon, or FSG will move on already in March. This is crucial as Liverpool wants a new structure in place before appointing new manager for next season. So first of all, I think this is absolutely massive news. Michael Edwards, we already know his CV as Liverpool fans. The work that he's done was absolutely transformative throughout this Jurgen Klopp era. As a sporting director, we've seen the ilk of players he's brought in, what he's managed to do on such a limited budget. But what's important to note here, and I know that Fabrizio Romano has said that he's shown no signs of saying yes. However, we are about to expand on that story in a second with some other journalists that have come out, so bear with me on that. But what I just want to say on this Michael Edwards thing so far, from what we can see, is that he's not going to be coming back in a sporting director role that you might expect. We're still looking for a sporting director, and we're obviously still looking for a manager. But Michael Edwards potentially coming back with full control, and we'll get into this a little bit more, but with full control over Liverpool Football Club. Essentially as sort of the Jim Ratcliffe figure, if you look at what Manchester United are doing, what the Glazers are doing, bringing Jim Ratcliffe in. That's kind of what I'm getting from this, is that's basically what FSG want to do with Michael Edwards. Only the difference is we're talking about Michael Edwards here, who we all know how good he is. We all know how transformative he's been with Liverpool Football Club. But let's continue. So Ian Doyle, since this story broke from Fabrizio Romano, has come out and said that FSG want to hand Edwards a more senior role to help oversee the imminent appointment of a new Reds sporting director and manager. The Liverpool owners believe they can yet tempt Edwards into reversing his decision. This was then followed up by Paul Joyce. Again, both Ian Doyle and Paul Joyce, incredibly reliable journalists surrounded with all things Liverpool Football Club. When there's news about Liverpool and these two break it, you know it's reliable. And so Paul Joyce said that Michael Edwards wants full control over Liverpool's football operations to consider a return. FSG are ready to put Michael Edwards in charge of the club in an attempt to lure him back. Now this is absolutely massive. So it's like I said, they want to offer him full control over the football club, as in all sporting operations will go through Michael Edwards. So he's going to be involved if he says yes. And this is why they want to do it quickly, right? Because then he's going to be involved in appointing, or have a say in appointing, the new sporting director, whoever that might be, as well as potentially even the manager as well. Although we know from today that Liverpool have made contact with Xabi Alonso. But what I will say about this is, first of all, when Fabrizio Romano said there's been no signs of him saying yes, that was before we knew that what Michael Edwards wanted was full control over Liverpool Football Club. What we now know is that FSG are ready to offer him that full control if he comes. And in the past, Michael Edwards has said no already to us. Since leaving, we tried to get him back. He said no. But what he did say was he would want a more senior role. He doesn't want to come back as a sporting director again. And now this is what we're offering him. So I think there's real potential here that he says yes to this offer. And if he does, it's going to be absolutely massive. I think the one thing we can take from this is that the future of Liverpool Football Club for FSG, what they're trying to do here, it shows ambition. Like, this is a massive move if they can get it done. We already know his CV, we know what he's capable of, but he did that as a sporting director. He did that under limited budget. You give him full control over the sporting operations, what more might he be able to do? I'm not saying he's going to come in and start blowing the budget on here, there and everywhere, or grant the new sporting director whatever they want, but I think we already know, as Liverpool fans especially, what this man is capable of, how transformative he can be for a football club. If we put him in a role where he's got even more ability to affect this football club, it can only be a good thing in my eyes. And it shows massive ambition from FSG to say that they're happy to take a step away from control of Liverpool Football Club. They're not selling the club. What they're doing is employing Michael Edwards to take control of the sporting operations. He's going to be a sporting operator at Liverpool Football Club if he agrees to this deal, and that's absolutely massive. It shows ambition on top top of that, we've heard today that they've contacted Xabi Alonso. So, you know, again, they're looking at the right manager that all the fans want, and now they're looking at not a sporting director, but an operator, someone in charge of operations at Liverpool Football Club to oversee Liverpool Football Club and all sporting operations within, in Michael Edwards, a man that definitely 100% all the fans would want back involved with Liverpool. So for me, this is absolutely huge news. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. It's not worth getting too excited just yet because we don't know what his response is going to be. But what we do know is they want this sorted as soon as possible. So we're going to have an answer pretty soon. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you want to stay up to date with this story, because of course we'll be covering it as it breaks. But finally, you might have noticed in the video title as well, I did mention Mo Salah, and that's because we've had reports from Melissa Reddy, again a very reliable journalist, this morning, who said that the Saudi Pro League will attempt to prize Mo Salah away from Liverpool again. However, all indications are that Salah wants to continue competing at the highest level. Now again, I think it's too early to get excited about this story, but what I will say is it's very good early indications that Mo Salah doesn't want to leave high level, top level football, and we know already we're going to finish in the top 4 this season, so we're going to have Champions League football next season. That's definitely something we can offer him if he's looking to extend his contract. But you know, there will be people out there that think maybe it's time to sell Mo Salah, cash in on him and invest that money further into the club. This is certainly the kind of thing Michael Edwards would be looking at if he does come in and takes over operations at Liverpool. So it's going to be a very interesting few months, I think, and certainly an interesting summer break this year. So much going on, players coming, players going, potentially, you know, new sporting director, potentially new operator, and also, of course, we are still awaiting news on that new manager. So it's an absolute massive summer. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already, if you want to stay up to date with all of that stuff, and drop the video a like if you have enjoyed the content. And as always, guys, we will see you in the next video. Peace.